Viewers, our next module is on stress, its understanding and its management. Nature created us human beings with a body and mind complex. While the body was meant for increased physical labor, the mind was meant to function under rest and relaxation. But if you look at modern day conditions, you will find that in fact what we have done with the rule of nature is we have upset it completely and disbalanced this body-mind complex. But is stress a modern day disease? Or did ancient man suffer from stress as well? In fact, he and she did, and the way they managed it was with flight or fight. The problem with modern day stress is that we can neither run away from our stress nor can we fight it. We in fact have to stay and manage it. Take for example your job and stress under the category boss, your home and stress from spouse, stress from children. Take for instance society and stress coming from having to conform to social laws and norms. So is stress then very bad? And if it is bad, can you do away with that boss, that spouse? Can you do away with that society and live alone by yourself? Perhaps not. Perhaps stress is necessary, but necessary in the right doses because it does give us the driving energy to go ahead and grow. Too much of stress and you will have a state of burnout and psychosoma. Too little and you will experience boredom and a state of rust out. As a psychologist, I can definitely say, friends, that balance is the key to managing stress. We have Professor Adrian Kennedy talking to us about stress, how to understand it, and thereby how to use it to our advantage, how to harness the energy of stress.
Our topic is stress management. There can be several types of stress. You can have good stress, such as in success, a marriage, a happy occasion. You can have bad stress, such as in an illness or a problem. You could have too much of stress, such as in an examination. Or you could have too little stress, such as in retirement. But what is stress? Stress is the ancient animal evolutionary endocrinic response of the body to a demand, a threat, or a danger. Let us consider two lions fighting. They have stress. Let us consider a lion chasing a deer. The deer runs away and also has stress. What happens to the human body or to any body during stress? There is a neuromuscular and endocrinic response. The brain sees the danger or the threat, releases hormones, stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol into the body. The adrenaline activates the entire body. The brain becomes alert. The heart rate increases, circulation, blood sugar rushes to the body. The muscles become strong and fast, and the cortisol releases the hormone that protects the body against pain, which is why in battle warriors feel no pain. In modern days, stress has changed. We no more have the demands of battle, but we still have the problems. And these problems happen to us on a day-to-day basis. The problems of life, the problems of making and earning, the problems of solving solutions that need to be done. This results in the same response of the body. The heartbeat increases, respiration increases, circulation increases. Stress hormones are secreted within the body every time there is a problem. And when this happens repeatedly, you get what is known as a psychosomatic response. What is a psychosomatic response? A psychosomatic response is a situation in which the body remains at an elevated state. Under these circumstances, you have headaches, you have respiratory problems, asthma, bronchitis, you are unable to sleep, you have digestive problems because the blood from the digestive organs are diverted to the muscles. You have muscular pain because the lactic acid remains within the body. The organs that are in use remain hyper elevated. The organs that are not in use, the digestive system, the sexual system, receive less blood and as a consequence malfunction. This is known as the weak link syndrome. So what does stress do? Stress increases the blood flow to organs that require it for action and reduces the blood flow to those organs that are not required in action. This causes a lack of homeostasis, resulting in illness in the body. Stress causes illness. There are several theories of stress. You have the adaptation theory of stress, in which you have a demand, the body rises to meet the demand. As long as it can meet the demand, it remains functional. When the demand turns too much, there is a breakdown state. Illness results. That is one theory. That was a theory propounded by Hans Selye. Now, Holmes Rahe brought in a new theory in 1967. He said that different events cause stress. For example, the death of a loved one or a major illness, imprisonment, divorce. These are major stresses. They are rated high on the scale. And then you have the day-to-day hassles, the minor problems. These also cause stress. This is the event-based formula. And then you have the tolerance level. We can all tolerate some problems. We can all tolerate some load. But when the load becomes too much, either at work or at home or within a problem and a social situation, we break down. This is known as the stress tolerance program or the stress tolerance formula. So there are different formulas for stress. So what are the general causes of stress? There are 5 to 6 causes, maybe less, maybe more. There are as many causes of stress as there are people, but generally speaking, any major problem will cause stress. Your personality is a great cause of stress. You could have problems at home, this can cause stress. You can have problems at work and even problems in your day-to-day routine. Let us consider each of these. Any major crisis, a problem that has no solution, a problem that has persisted over the last year, maybe a major illness, a major financial problem, a job-related problem, an emotional problem, or a natural calamity, a flood, an earthquake, loss of home. These are major problems. These can cause stress. Your day-to-day routine can cause stress. For example, through the day you are working, at night you should sleep. You should have some time for relaxation and exercise. Now, what happens if you have too little sleep? The body doesn't get a chance to rejuvenate. The body doesn't get a chance to relax. What happens if you have too much of work? The body is overstressed. What happens if you do not have time to exercise or relax? The body does not get time to recharge its batteries. You need sufficient time, 8 hours work, 8 hours sleep, 8 hours family time. Without this, you can have routine stress. Your personality can cause stress. All organizations, all institutes, all communities are looking for people who are ambitious, competitive, dynamic, hard-working, result-oriented. We pride ourselves in being time-pressured. We time ourselves in being competitive and better than the other person. We pride ourselves in being the best. We are paid for this. In order to be the best, your body has to stretch beyond its own capabilities. Your personality, a type A personality, can cause stress. Your home should not cause you any stress. And yet there are problems at home. Incompatibility with spouse. 50% of marriages abroad result in divorce. The situation in India is much better. But with the opening up of the economy, with the opening up of the world, we are adapting to Western systems. We import stress. We export yoga and relaxation. You can have problems at home. You can also have problems at work. Your work physical environment, too much of dust, too much of heat, not sufficient ventilation, a boring, repetitive job such as in a factory, high levels of stress and tension due to lack of support, financial problems, lack of support from management, your inability to get along with your boss. Maybe your salary is insufficient. Maybe your qualifications are incompatible with your work. All of this can cause stress. Who will stress attack? Stress will attack individuals who have major problems, individuals who have no support systems, individuals who have financial and job problems, individuals who have unrealistic goals, individuals who are not healthy, individuals who smoke perhaps, result in alcohol, indulge in drugs. These are the individuals whom stress will attack. Now, when you have stress, when you are attacked by stress, when you are susceptible to stress, you have psychosomatic breakdown, resulting in headaches, respiratory problems, digestive problems, muscular pain, skin ailments, hypertension, diabetes, hypercholesteremia, heart attacks, cancer. Stress is either a cause of these or will affect each one of these. So how do we manage stress? You manage stress in 4 or 5 different ways. If you are a type A personality, you need to change your personality. If you're a passive personality, you need to change your personality. You need to be assertive and comfortable. You must solve problems. You must reduce stress at home. You must reduce stress at work. You must create for yourself a stress defense system. How do you convert from a type A to a type B personality? You listen. You sympathize. You have varied interests. You compartmentalize. You delegate. You have a sense of humor. You become androgynous. You become philosophical. A type B personality is an individual who is a team player. He is realistic. He functions within his capacity. He has realistic ambitions and plans, and he is a team individual. He is an individual who divides his stress within the group. The entire group functions better rather than as an individual superstar. If you have a stressful problem, you must find a solution. If it is a legal problem, talk to a lawyer. If it is a financial problem, talk to your banker. If it is a job-related problem, talk to your boss. If it is an emotional problem, seek the support of your family and friends. What happens when there is stress? When there is stress, there is a release of stressful hormones in the body. These hormones remain within the body and hyperactivate the heart and lungs and circulatory system. We can use this to our advantage. Remember the story of the lion chasing the deer. The deer runs away, and if the deer survives, it rests and relaxes till the next day. So physical activity utilizes stressful hormones. Exercise, physical activity, walking, holidays, trekking, yoga, breathing, any physical movement that utilizes the stressful energy within the body, they all reduce stress. If you were to look at American organizations, all American organizations have in their basement gymnasiums. They realize that work creates stress. At the end of the day, they encourage exercise. This exercise utilizes the stress hormone. What is a game of football? It is the release of energy. The Japanese also have a system in which they release their ki, their energy, the ki. This release of energy reduces stress. In India, we have our breathing techniques, pranayama. Breathing can also reduce stress. That is the physical method. Then there is the mental method, the passive methods. There is no greater reducer than stress, than sleep. Sleep brings the body to a state of deep relaxation. Sleep reduces the brainwave state. Sleep creates an endorphin situation. Sleep is healing. Sleep is rejuvenative. We need to spend 1/3 of our life in sleep. But during the time that we are awake, there are other methods of relaxation. You could, for example, listen to music. Or you could, for example, do a meditative position. Or you could have a passive massage. Beyond the mental, there is the spiritual. In case you have a problem that has no solution, and even otherwise on a day-to-day basis, you could pray. Prayer, faith, belief, inspiration, to believe that there are solutions, to believe that there is somebody who looks after you, to believe that no matter what the problem, there will be a solution. These inspirational reservoirs also reduce stress. So what happens when you are able to solve a problem? What happens when you are able to relax? What happens when the body is relaxed? Whether you use meditation, or you use yoga, or you use exercise, or you use sleep, or you use prayer, you will find that in all these situations, your respiration drops. Your normal respiration is 21 respirations per minute, but in a relaxed state, your respirations drop to 16. In a stressful state, your relaxation reduces and your respiration increases to about 30 respirations a minute. When you're stressed, your heart rate increases to 120, 30, 40, or even 150 heartbeats per minute. When you relax, your respiration drops, and as a consequence, your heart rate drops. Your heart rate drops to less than 70 beats, 60 beats. In a state of sleep, your respiration as well as your heart rate drops. Your heart rate drops to even 50 beats a minute. When you are in stress, your brain waves are hyperactive. This is known as a bizarre brainwave state. Your brain cycles are 48 cycles per second, and the body releases toxins within the body, adrenaline, cortisone. These are toxins that are released that contaminate the body. When you are relaxed, you go into an alpha state. An alpha state is 24 cycles or 12 cycles per second. When you sleep, you go into a delta and theta state, which is 4 to 8 cycles per second. And when your brain is relaxed, it releases from within itself endorphins. These endorphins heal the body. That is why sleep is not important only for rest, but is also important for health and rejuvenation. When you have stress, your muscles are tense. When you have stress, you have hypertension. When you relax, the entire body relaxes. Your blood pressure drops. Now, stress is relevant to the individual, but stress can also be relevant to the organization. How does an organization reduce stress? You can have impartial rules. You can have a sense of justiciability. You can have a clear job description. You can have a place to relax. You can give recognition for success and rewards and promotions. You can have open communications. All these help to reduce stress within an organization. So how do you create a stress defense system? You know that when you are stressed, you are under attack. You will result in illness. So how do you create a stress defense system? You can have a stable family and group support. You can have financial security. You must achieve occupational satisfaction. You must have realistic goals. You must have an assertive, comfortable personality. You must have a sense of humor. You must have faith and belief. You must be healthy. You must do your exercise. You must avoid body breakdown situations and dependencies like alcohol and smoking. So what happens when you have stress? It not only causes illness, it also reduces efficiency. The problem is not having too little stress. The problem is in managing your stress. Stress reduces efficiency. So therefore, you need a stimulus to be able to achieve optimal results. But when the stress becomes too long, when the resistance becomes too long, when the problems remain too long, when there are no solutions, you then have a breakdown stress. You have a breakdown situation. And this breakdown situation results in fatigue, exhaustion, ill health, and disease. It reduces efficiency. Now, this reduction of efficiency can translate to an individual in the form of disease. This reduction in efficiency can translate to an organization in terms of lockouts, in terms of reduced production, in terms of loss of profits. So stress is relevant not only to the individual, but also to organizations. The objective is not to have too little stress. Too little stress would result in boredom. Too little stress would result in rust out. Too little stress would result in insecurity. Too little stress would be negative. It would be counterproductive. It would not be optimal. Neither should we have too much of stress. Too much of stress is burnout. Too much of stress is breakdown. Too much of stress is disease. Too much of stress is illness. Too much of stress is psychosoma. It's not that we should have too little. It's not that we should have too much. We must have the right amount, or in case we have too little or too much, we must plan. We must manage. We must create solutions. We must work for solutions. What we need is optimum stress, good stress, eustress, successful stress. So what are the goals of stress management? What are the benefits of stress management? The benefits of stress management to the individual is good health, relief from problems, relief from psychosoma, release from physical ailments, reduction of hypertension, diabetes, hypercholesteremia, cardiac problems. All illnesses are reduced or improve. The prognosis increases and improves as a consequence of happiness. That is on the one end, from the perspective of the individual. Now let us look at it from the perspective of the organization, from the perspective of the group or the community or the country. It results reduced stress or managed stress or optimal efficiency results in higher efficiency, higher production, higher gains. So what is stress, friends? Stress is a demand on the body. What is stress management? Stress management is the method of utilizing that demand in a productive way so that it does not cause a breakdown in the body. Stress management is the ability to solve problems. It is the ability to find solutions. And what are the benefits of these solutions? These solutions will result in improved health to the individual, improved productivity to the organization, and increased happiness to the community. Thank you.
Imagine, viewers, you are under stress. Your heart is beating fast. you cannot breathe too well, your face is looking flushed, you are perspiring, your blood pressure is increasing. But under these very conditions, you have to learn the trick of managing stress. This is when you need the techniques of management of stress the most. So remember, exercise, look at your attitude, and make sure that you learn how to relax.